Okay, we're talking about Montana, Washington. We're just talking about how the different situations are. And in Oregon, we have what, 0% sales tax, right?
Yeah, no sales tax, but the income tax, I believe, is 10% in Oregon. So
and when I was spending time in Oregon, it just seems a little backward. Beautiful state, but it seems like they don't really have a lot of business, a lot of licensing.
A lot of taxes, yeah, a lot of taxes. A lot of businesses are getting pushed out. Little guys are getting pushed out now. Just some things are changing, and it's definitely getting harder for people. And even my parents have a bakery and a restaurant in Washington, and it has been a good place for small business, but lately it's been getting creamed, and they're having hard times with that.
So Washington is becoming more like Oregon.
It's becoming more that way, right? It's not as bad as Oregon, but it's becoming that way.
Okay, so. And Oregon, there's pockets of Oregon that have 20% unemployment.
Exactly, and there's some towns all over. In fact, a lot of the small towns that thrive off of lumber, all the lumber industry is being shut down.
And we're, of course, guys, we're making generalizations here, of course, so don't take this with a grain of salt. But in general, we're finding out, I think Oregon is more like an environmentally friendly state, but maybe not as pro-business as, let's say, Washington.
Exactly. And the small towns that are affected are the ones that have been, like, the industry's been based on lumber. Like, there's some small towns like John Day and Prairie City, their entire infrastructure is based on the lumber industry. And when that plant closed, 20% unemployment right away. So, I mean, this is what's happening in these small towns. So.
Now, in Washington, you have 0% sales tax like Oregon, but you have a...
No, sales tax is 8%.
Oh, sales tax is 8%.
But no income tax at all.
And that's a good thing.
Which is really good. And I have, both my jobs are here in Washington State, and it's great not having to pay that income tax. So
that's awesome. Really so that adds some vibrancy to the economy here. And also, we were talking about Montana, Idaho. You're saying it's 25% cheaper to live in Washington than it is Montana.
Yeah, the cost of living in Montana, especially in western Montana, it's turning into the next Colorado. All these people are moving up from Colorado, even from the East Coast, West Coast, Southern California, coming up to like Bozeman, Montana, Missoula. Really trendy now, and a lot of jobs are hard to come by. And all the college students that are now graduating from these places because they are college towns, they're also having a hard time finding work.
What's the tax rates in Montana?
The sales tax is none. The income tax is 10%. So it's kind of like maybe catch-22 in some ways, because you kind of got to work around that. I mean, you can get the sales tax, but then when you have the counter and the cost of living, you're going to have to pay more. So it just depends on what you can manage.
And then the unemployment numbers I've seen out of the Northwest, it seems like Montana is doing the best as far as unemployment.
I think Montana, last I checked, was around 6%, or maybe 7%. I'm not sure exactly, but I know Idaho's right there, about 7.6% unemployment overall. Wyoming, however, is really low. It's about 4.5%. That could have changed now.
But Wyoming, also we have to consider Wyoming has like 500,000 people for the entire state.
Exactly.
But Wyoming is I'm trying to think of the word, is counter-cyclical to what's happening right now.
Right.
And you can find pockets like that probably anywhere. A small area that's growing while the rest of the country is going through almost a depression.
Exactly.
Real quick thoughts on Idaho, because you used to live there.
Yeah, well, I grew up in Idaho. I lived in North Idaho, and Coeur d'Alene, Cooney County, it's boomed. It's gone insane. The resort and everything has taken off. A lot of Californians moving up there. It's gotten to the point to where it's hard for people to find work, and unemployment has gone to like from 5%, I believe, in the last 2 years to 9%. So it's going up. But then again, you're still better off than you would be if you were in some places in California or Oregon.
So the end result with Idaho, it's pretty conservative state.
Yeah.
Low taxes. What's the tax rates?
Tax rates, I believe, sales tax is 6%. And I'm not completely positive on the income tax. It's been a while. But I think it might be around the same, or maybe a little bit higher.
So out of all these states in the Northwest, which one do you think will fare the best? Is it going to be Wyoming?
Yeah, it could be. I think the places that are going to be progressive, the ones that are going to be above and got the edge, are definitely the ones that have the industry and progressive. And there's always something that they're catching on with that's going to be going in the next level. So
it sounds like Washington?
Yeah, Eastern Washington has done really well and still is. Parts of like Spokane, still having some hard times with unemployment, but then again, it's still a lot lower than other places you would go here or find. So
Yeah, I really like how they say, oh, our economic situation is bad here in the Northwest. It's nothing. You have nothing compared to Central California and the Inland Empire in California. You got nothing. Nothing on us. Michigan is the only state that comes close to what we're having to deal with in California.